Hello, everybody. My name is Marcus the Diesel.
Yeah.
Welcome to our show number 22, to our Friday Night Light Show Part 2. We got Chapin, Westwood, Lexington, Ben Lippin. Well, no, Ben Lippin won't be here today, but Batesville, Leesville, Ridgeview, Swansea. We got all the schools here today, so we're going to talk with the coaches, and they will give us a rundown of the upcoming season. So make sure you go to some of their games, or most of the games you can. Make sure you support the teams. Make sure you support the student athletes as they are, developing their skills, all that good stuff. And we're going to talk with Coach Adams. We're going to talk with Coach Curtis. We'll talk with Coach Gentry, Coach Perry, and Coach Wright as they preview their upcoming seasons. A couple things coming up for us for our radio show. This will be something new for us. It's called a high school game day show.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely look forward to that. That's going to be starting this month. The very first game that we're going to do will be on August 18th at River Bluff High School. Chapin Eagles will be taking on the River Bluff Gators. So we'll be there doing our pregame show, our halftime show, and our postgame show from there. And throughout the night, we'll be updating with the scores, all that good stuff. And then also, for the fan favorites, we're going to have our fan cam, so y'all have a chance to showcase who you are on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you be there for that. Our very first game will be at River Bluff, like I said, August 18th. And then another date that we got confirmed is at Richland Northeast when the Speed Valley Vikings take on the Richland Northeast Cavaliers. So make sure you come out, support your teams, and then throughout the season, we select a game to be there throughout the week. And also, we got countdown to kickoff. Yeah. So we're going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina on September 2nd. Whoop. It's going to be called the Charlotte Takeover. So we're going to be there for the USC football season opener as the NC State Wolfpack take on the South Carolina Gamecocks at the Bank of America Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers, just to throw that out there. So make sure you watch us on September 2nd. And also, and these are a couple of church announcements, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Preach, Bishop. Come on.
Hey, August the 15th, we got our fantasy football show night. So all the football fantasy guys that's out there, make sure you sign up. The link is on our Facebook page. On August the 15th at 8 o'clock p.m., we'll be having our live draft night show. So make sure you sign up today. There's only 16 slots, so make sure you sign up before it all fills up. And then also, if you want to be a sponsor on our show, make sure you email us at sales@freethinkersradio.com. That was a lot.
Drop the paper.
There we go. So let's get started tonight with our first two coaches. We got Batesboro-Leesville coach Adams, and we got Westwood coach Curtis. First with coach from Westwood, second year as coach, former AC4 coach and Spring Valley assistant coach. At AC4, he won 4 recent titles and competed in 2 upper state championships. And with Coach Adams from Batesboro-Leesville, he is a player's coach. He used to play linebacker, safety, and tight end during the 90s. I'm a 90s baby, so you got to represent with that. Played in 1995 Batesboro-Leesville State Championship team, and a former player at Liberty University. He's been at Batesboro-Leesville since 2006, and now he is the head coach of Batesboro-Leesville Panthers. I know I have a problem saying that all night tonight, so it'll be all right. Coaches, how y'all feel tonight?
Real good, man.
Good. So let's start with you, Coach Curtis. Last year, wasn't the best of seasons, but I know for the second year, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to turn this team around. Tell me about your team coming up this year.
We really like what we have from a speed standpoint. We got some guys who can really run. Our track team won the 4x100 relay, and 3 of those 4 guys play for us 2 corner and 1 at wide out. And we got guys like Montre Miller and Jalen Brigman, some of them other guys that ran track, and we're not quite as big up the middle this year on defense, but very fast at inside linebacker and safety and DB, and we're hoping that we can use speed to our advantage this season. Now,
I know last year I had a lot of young players that contributed to the season. So with them developing a year under their belt, how can that influence the turnaround for this season?
If you look back at our scores last year, you'd say, man, they were pretty good on defense and not very good on offense, and that's true. Part of that was, we had a lot of returning experience on defense. Some guys that had really been through the battles and were just really, really good football players. And offensively, we had 2 returning starters. That was it. And one of them got hurt on the 4th offensive play of the season and was out for the year. And that cat had 1,900 yards his junior year as a running back. So, that was a big loss. And we didn't have experience at quarterback. We didn't have experience at wide receiver. We didn't have experience at offensive line. And then when you lose your top 2 running backs for the year, that kind of it puts a damper on things. But we didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball, and that's the biggest thing that we have to overcome offensively. And we certainly have the weapons to be able to make some things happen if we do. Now,
for you, Coach Adams, this is your first year at Baseball Leesville, but you've been there for pretty much your whole life. You played there. You've been there since 2006 as assistant coach. Now you are able to be a head coach there. I know last year y'all went to the state championship, lost to Abbeville. Last year's record was 10-5, all that good stuff. Tell me about your team that you have coming back from, I would say, a pretty successful year last year.
Yeah, we had a pretty successful year, but coming back to this season, one of the biggest concerns is we lost our starting center to graduation, and anytime you got to replace a center, that's a huge concern. We also have to replace our offensive guard, so offensively, those are our 2 question marks. Hoping that the young guys and we didn't have a JV last year, so they didn't get a lot of game-type experience, but they got a lot of time to practice against our ones so that to help make themselves better. So hopefully that help the guys that are going to step in at those positions. Offensively, it's great to have a quarterback like Bishop Cannon coming back. Hopefully he's matured a little bit more and be even more of a leader this year than he was last year. We got feel like we're a little bit more talented at the receivers this year with the 4 that we have, a little bit more skilled at receiver. Defensively, it'll be hard to replace our 2 defensive linemen. They accounted for over 200 tackles, for over 50 tackles for a loss and over 20 sacks. So replacing that, is very tough. So it's a challenge for the defensive linemen. Somebody's got to step up and keep everything rolling. We do have our 2 linebackers coming back, and that's a huge plus. And we're looking to move a few people around into different positions and try to use speed once again. Like Coach said, we're not very big defensively, but we're fast, so we're trying to use speed and just always fly to the football, and hopefully that we'll be able to survive again this year with that.
Cool. Coach Curtis, I got a question for you. So you mentioned a little bit about how your team dynamic has changed, having to switch to a style that is more flexible towards speed than size, and just in other ways with different injuries. Well, this being your second year, how have you worked with increasing the buy-in from your players in the face of all this adversity?
Well, I had a lot of one of the best things that the other coach can tell you from the other team, even when you lose, is, Coach, Guy, your kids, they really play hard, and, we know you are getting after it. There's not a single game last season where our kids didn't show up. And, we all know as coaches that the more weeks you have like that, the more you think, man, we might lose them if it happens again. Might lose them if it happens again. And, we lost, 5 or 6 games by 13 points or less, and, a couple by less than a score. And those things weigh on kids. But, I have a very positive coaching staff that, comes to practice every day with a lot of energy. And when you do that as a staff, that really rubs off on your kids. And, you just try to make sure that your leaders understand that it's their team. It's not our team. We don't get to put on helmets or anything like that. So, the buy-in this year has honestly, I don't know that I would sit here and say we've had to get more kids to buy in. Because I think we've got some really good kids who enjoy being football players at Westwood.
Okay, thank you. And actually, Coach Adams, I got a question for you too. I coach basketball and track at Benlippin. Woo woo! Yeah, I throw that out there.
I was going to represent.
I can't even see the shirt like it's blind.
Oh, sorry. Let me. There you go. I'm just.
Like I said, I should wear my shirt today.
Yeah, you should have.
No, you shouldn't. No. Don't do that.
It'd be all right.
I got my gold on, so it's okay. So I've when I first started out coaching, it was difficult to have it was interesting to have a team where I felt where my youth was my stronger part of my team. And so a lot of times when I have, with my older girls, and I stress the importance of leadership in building up my younger players, my less experienced players. Not saying that you don't have that, but when you're young heavy, when your team is young heavy, I just completely made that up. So I hope you know what it means. What's the biggest thing that you focus on when there isn't as much leadership pulling from the top?
Well, this year we have a young guy that to me is probably one of the best leaders on our team. He's a sophomore. And one of the things that, I harp on and try to emphasize and stress with our guys is that, we're looking for anyone to step up. I don't care if you're a senior, junior, freshman, sophomore. We're looking for someone to step up and lead the team. And it doesn't matter, some coaches really push the seniors. I mean, if it's a freshman that's going to step up and lead the team, I've made it known to the players that, I don't care if you were a starting senior. If a freshman steps up and can take your place, he will take your place. And just letting younger kids know that there's opportunities. And having those opportunities, they'll actually push themselves a little bit more.
All right, coaches, we got to wrap on up. But make sure for their very first game for Baseball Leesville, it'll be at home, on the road at Richmond Monetta. And the very first game for Westwood will be at Chester. So make sure you check them out when you get a chance to. Coach Curtis, Coach Adams, thank y'all for coming out, man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much.
All right, we'll be back after in commercial break.
What's up, everybody? This is Marcus, a.k.a. Diesel, and you listen to the Walk-Ons on Free Thinkers Radio.
Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
You've made iHeartRadio the fastest growing music app in the U.S. Why? Because we connect you to all of your favorite music and radio stations in one free app. And this fall, prepare to take control of how you listen to the radio.
Replay.
That song on your radio you just can't hear enough? Immediately replay and sing along again.
Save.
Save the music you love on the radio directly to your playlist.
Play.
Search for and play any song on demand.
Skips.
Unlimited skips.
Offline.
Take the music from your favorite stations offline. Introducing iHeartRadio Plus and iHeartRadio All Access. Your radio now on demand.
If you missed the tax deadline, Javis Tax Service can help. There are certain circumstances that allow for a tax extension without additional fees. We can let you know if you qualify for this service. If you still need to file, we can get the paperwork in quickly and ensure that all fees or penalties are met. It's better to file late taxes than not file at all to avoid garnishments. Use Javis Tax Service to help get your taxes filed quickly and correctly. For more information to set up a free consultation, call Javis Tax Service at 803-851-7112. That's 851-7112.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kristen Dickerson. Make sure you tune in to the Walk-Ons on freethinkersradio.com.
Hakuna Matata. I ain't worried about nothing, homie. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata, okay? I ain't worried about nothing, homie. Hakuna Matata. I ain't got no words, homie. I'm screaming.
Welcome back to the Walk-Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. As you see, we're having a lot of stuff off the camera going on, so
it's all good.
Yeah, come on.
They talking about being living, you know.
I know you're on business, but we just came back from commercial break.
Hey, Coach, I'm sorry.
Y'all ain't even paying attention. My microphone loud.
Yeah, well, we just talking, have a good time. But everybody that's on iHeartRadio, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
You know, our Facebook Live, thank you for watching us, and make sure you share all that good stuff, and make sure you tell your friends, tell your family, and from there, we will keep on building, give you all good shows, all that good stuff, so make sure you do all you can to support us. Yeah. Right now, we're going to Gamecock Insider with Coach Fry. Coach Fry's on the phone with us. How you doing, Coach Fry?
Hey, I'm on here. I'm good, man. I'm glad to listen to you guys. I've been Facebooking out trying to get everybody to listen.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Fry the man. Coach Fry is the man.
Yeah, trying to make sure you get on out there. So you're doing great, Coach. Everybody enjoy you when you come on. So that's why we keep on talking to you, all that good stuff.
Hey, well, I'm glad. Hey, I want everybody to go watch some track and field come this week. You're going to see that lightning bolt from Jamaica take on the Americans over in London at the World Championship.
Oh, yeah.
And don't see a great Gamecock, Tasha Hastings out there running on the mile relay. See that Allison Felix girl from California, and all that's going to go on this week. So I hope people on the 5th, it starts up and it goes 10 days. I decided to stay in Colombia instead of going to the World Championship. I was in the Olympics last summer, so I was a little tired.
Awesome. Now, last week, Coach, well, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, we was talking about an interesting conversation about players going to different schools, all that other stuff, and it was pretty good, great conversation that 2 weeks ago, and we just wanted to continue that as for what's the process of why players decide to leave to go to other places like that for their actual career, like in football, basketball, baseball, all that other good stuff. So we can definitely continue that conversation from that time.
Well, I tell you what, I have a strong feeling about, I've been here 20 years. I didn't plan on staying that long. And when I came, my family, my wife was saying, why are we going to South Carolina? Well, first reason was they offered me a head job and they paid well. So I was an assistant coach at the University of North Carolina. And then I was assistant coach at the University of Florida, an assistant coach at the NC State University, a high school coach, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Coach Donnell Wolford went to Clemson, and Coach Brad Edwards, who come here to Carolina, and then coach at East Carolina and try to play a little bit down there. So my perspective on people leaving their own territory. This week I was at Junior Olympics National Championships, and somebody asked me why I wasn't a recruit in Texas. And my feelings was there are a lot of good schools in Texas. There's great academic schools in Texas, and there are great science schools and business schools. And I don't I like to look and say, well, why would a person leave Texas? Has he got a problem with his family? Does he have people in Colombia? So it's got to be some good reason other than the fact that he can't find an opportunity to get a great degree and share with his community and share with the people that picked him up in the neighborhood, share with the high school coach or the AAU coach, and share with developing his reputation and his brand, where he's probably going to go back to work, or where his family's going to have to get a job, or where he can involve himself in improving the relationships with his family and making them feel the feeling of stardom. So South Carolina, when I first got here, maybe many times didn't have the athletic facilities, or maybe even Clemson might not have something in a particular sport. But now, with the Power 5 and national championships being won and basketball teams being able to play in the NCAA finals and the NCAA allowing championships to come here, the academics are comparable with every school in the country and the major schools in South Carolina. So then what's the reason for a kid to leave? He don't like his family. He doesn't like his environment. He don't like he don't like about himself. So I don't know why a person would leave where they grew up and planning on coming back to get a job where they got the best corporations and 10,000 people a month are moving south of Richmond, Virginia. That's myself. So no, I don't think a kid should leave his environment. He should force his environment to provide for him the things that his family put taxpaying money into. Now I'll stop.
Me, like I said, I don't like to speak for myself. It's only so much. Oh, microphone. It's only.
You're right there?
Yeah. Microphone went dead on me. Anyway, for myself, it was a different environment. I came out, it was Jerome Harper, Orlando Howell, the top dogs that were coming out of the state, and honestly, I wasn't being recruited outside of Clemson, Coastal Carolina, and what's the other one? College of Charleston, and Winthrop. So it's not about being in the state. When you start thinking about it in hindsight, it's at the time like what are your situation, your circumstances, and mine was a little rough. So I didn't like nothing about this state, so I wanted to leave. I wanted to do better outside somewhere else. Like you, I never intended to come back to South Carolina. Once I was gone, I mean, I got my degree at Virginia Tech. I kind of wanted to stay there. So I think it's just different for each person. Some people don't see themselves leaving home. And also a lot has changed in the last 15, 17 years. I mean, the flag has just been removed. Yeah. Like you said.
I agree with you on that one, but I got to stop you. The state of Virginia and that area, do you realize that you probably didn't realize they in public schools, they stopped having integration in public school, made only private schools in the whole state of Virginia. Northern Virginia is the southern part of West Virginia. So if you compare leaving for the hostility of South Carolina on people of color, then we live in America. I can go to New York City and go right in certain areas of New York City, and black people not welcome. So sometimes we have to look at the other places are not better than who we are, where we are. Bigotry and racism, they might not have flags on top of things, but they got flags in their heart. So I've never, that's never been a reason. But I mean, you left for your reason, but I'm saying right now, this present time, and you're saying the right things. Kids, times have changed, but perception has changed. Florida, kids leave South Carolina, go to Florida. I lived in Florida. People go to North Carolina, Chapel Hill to play basketball. I was there. I live in North Carolina. I see more rebel flags driving up the highway on number 1, going into Richmond County, North Carolina, on up through there, as I see in South Carolina. So people's perspectives on race and color, they don't change. Ignorance is a problem in all over our country with people having judgments on other people, but it's not the region of the South or the West or the East. I'm sorry.
No, it's just opportunity. That's all I would say. It'd be opportunity. What can you get for the kids that's around here that are coming back or did play? That's local. I mean, that's all I can think of. It's different. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm black. I know the difference. You can't hide from that. But at the same token, what are your opportunities? If I stay here, am I going to play? The politics of playing. You know that. Who's better, who's not better. It was a guy, Chuck Edson, that was ranked in that area at that time. So you got to think of like that. Like, what's going to be better for you? What's going to make your path for your that alley to creating success for you better or greater? So for me, it was go to Virginia. I mean, for me, like I said, each case is different.
Well, I mean, I think the ACC, for as basketball is concerned, has always been a chance of more exposure. But with that said, if you good, nobody's gonna keep somebody good from playing. I mean, if you're good enough to make me win and get me a 7-figure salary, you get in the ball game. I don't care. And that's kind of been a standard. Unless you're that mid-level player, a mid-level. If you're that 3-star or a midline 4, but if you truly got a gift and you got the grit to play, the grit to say, I don't care what you say about me, I'm tough enough, and I'm gonna overcome obstacles. That stuff is something that I hope our kids in this state, and they've proven it too. We got more kids per capita, per percentage of that 4 million people playing professional athletics than everywhere in the country. There's no 4 million. There's only 4 million people in the state. You got people in leagues and playing baseball at a higher percentage in our 4 than you do in the state of Florida, state of Texas, because they got 18 million people in Broward County. So we got the tough athlete. We got the grit. And you were one of the athletes that had that grit. It wouldn't have mattered where you play, you was going to get a chance to play. And and that same kid is out there right now, and people are convincing them that they're going to have a better opportunity. It is, but when you got to travel away from grandma and people get emotional and they lose their stress. I mean, they have a funeral in their family. They lose grandma. They get depressed. They're away from home and they're playing, but they can't get back to the people who can push that hot button about their security and their wellness. And in turn, we lose more of our kids that get away to not being what they could have been in totality. So you can't run from the ghost; you have to fight the ghost.
So what's the?
I hope our kids don't leave.
Well, Coach Fry, I definitely want to ask you this because you've seen us with Spring Valley as far as coaching for track and stuff like that, and you've seen from the girls' perspective of with me and Coach Williams and Coach Thompson and us out there. I'm actually just paying attention, thinking what I'm just seeing for the kids who do leave from the state and actually go to other states and sports. I mean, understanding the difference. I mean, seeing the difference between the kids. What's the difference? Like, as far as like, why should they fully really stay here when they got tons of opportunities? I mean, I know this is a big state, but
hey, Coach Fire, hey. We got to finish this next week.
Hey, cool with me?
Yeah, we'll be back at this commercial break. Stay tuned on the Walk-Ons.
Streamline your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move.
When you have a great melody, a song can last forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes boom.
iHeartRadio is the way I get to you.
The biggest song, the biggest artist,
all in one place.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
I'm gonna touch your heart with my Lord and spread the word of God through this place. And when it gets tough and I feel stuck, never give up. No matter what you say, cause I rep for my dad. Oh, you mad? Yeah, I see that.
He was going there. I was trying to talk to Coach Fry.
He was going to leave something. What does he have to offer?
We're going to give him 2 segments next week.
Hey, listen, I thought we were about to have a dilemma. Like,
I was about to say, Coach Gentry.
Trump about to come
hey, I say, Coach Gentry and Coach Perry, we got to talk to you next week, man. Because Coach Fry about to take over.
They looked at my facial expressions, and I was sitting there like, what?
You should talk my facial expressions.
What's going on?
Welcome back to the Walk-Ons. Everybody listening on iHeartRadio, we thank you for listening to our show. Make sure you share us on our Facebook page and Twitter page, all the other good stuff. And what else do we got to know, Kristen?
All right, so we're getting out of the studio. We're doing something a little different. We're going to be getting out of the studio. We're having a high school game day. And our first one is going to be August 18th at River Bluff High School. They will be facing Chapin that night, and Chapin is here. Woo, 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 woo. And then on September 1st, we will be at Richland Northeast. They will be playing Spring Valley. And for you fans that super love your teams, we'll have a fan cam out there, so you'll get to act up within reason. Within reason.
Yeah. Got restrictions.
Yeah, we just can't just go into other people's businesses and say, hey, we're going to do a show.
Yeah,
like it or not, be here.
We're going to be here. We also have a Charlotte takeover. We are going down. We'll be in Charlotte for the NC State versus USC.
It's USC, Chris.
Yes, well,
University of South Carolina. That's the only USC here.
They're not that good.
You know what?
Okay, we're not going to talk
about that. Who said that?
And then also you sign up for our fantasy football. All right, next. We got Coach Gentry, Coach Perry. Coach Perry's from Lexington High School, and Coach Gentry's from Chapin High School. How y'all doing today, man?
Doing good.
Appreciate y'all having us.
No problem.
Glad to hear, man.
Coach Perry is head coach and athletic director for Lexington High School. He's a former baseball Leesville coach, and he led the baseball Leesville Panthers to a state championship in 2016. And his whole family, from the dad to the grandfather to whoever, has coached football for a number of years. And actually, his grandfather is the football field for Chapin is named after him. And how ironic, because we have Chapin's coach here, Coach Gentry. Where is his paper at? Where I put it at? Why? There we go. He's also athletic director, and he's the former coach for Lake City High School, and he was named to the 3A Coach of the Year several cases while there. And now he is Chapin's High School coach, and I'm pretty sure you'll get a statue soon because you're doing great things over there in the Chapin area. So glad to have y'all on. Coach Gentry, tell me about your team coming up. I know you have a lot of key players that were on the team last year, now gone. One key player is Will Webster. He's with USC now. So tell me about the team you got coming up for this year.
Over the last 2 years, we've lost a lot of seniors and quality kids and football players. And this seniors class, we do have a good group of returning. However, we're going to be awfully young in a lot of spots. So it's been a fun group to work with since last January, and trying to build them and trying to mold them and let them see how we do it the Chapin way. And so, we're going to take some lumps early, but we just got to keep doing what we're doing and get better each week when we take the field.
And for you, Coach Perry, Lexington is known as a powerhouse in the Lexington area. Of course, I'm a white note guy, so, I have a reason to talk trash for the Lexington High School Wildcats, but I will keep it professional and then go
even win?
Hey, white note beat them last year twice, so I'm not going to throw that. But it's not his fault, though.
Really?
It's his first year here.
That's what you're going to say?
It's his first year. But at the same time, Lexington, they went 6-6 last year. Tell me about your team coming up, too, Coach.
We got a good group of kids coming back. We did lose a lot of linemen on both sides of the ball. Lost 4 of the 5 offensive linemen. Lost 2 of the 4 defensive linemen. And, football is really one in the trenches, especially deep in the playoffs and stuff like that. So we got some young guys there that got to grow up quick. But we got a good non-region schedule to get them guys ready before we get into region play. We got some skilled guys coming back. Our quarterback, Chase Crouch, is a returning starter, and that's always key. Offensively, no matter what you run, you got to have a good quarterback. And, Chase is a good leader for our team, and we got some good receivers around him. We got a good running back in Jordan Hiller, who they moved to running back late in the year due to some injuries. So this will be his first full year at running back as a junior. So we expect big things out of him. Defensively, Jalen McCoy's coming back, who had a good year. John Mills played last year defensively, and we got 2 in the secondary that are pretty good that are coming back. So we're kind of hanging our hat on those, and going to really rely on our defense until our guys up front on offense can come around and get better.
All right, Coach Gentry, I got a question for you. Being in the 100-win club, congratulations on that. I'm a coach, not for football, but I'm a coach. I hope to get there one day. But what is maybe a top focus to get somewhere like that? That's a huge accomplishment, especially in a sport where you're not playing a lot of games in a season. So to get there, what is a suggestion that you would give for somebody at the bottom of that process working their way up? What's a big priority that helped you get there?
Well, I think to have an opportunity to work for some great coaches as an assistant coach coming up, and learning that philosophy, pick your philosophy and stick to it. And there's no shortcuts here. There's coaches all around that take shortcuts to try to build programs. And you've got to take a program, you got to take your kids, and you got to get them believing, your community believing in everything out there. And good things will happen if you keep plugging away. But, I'd say find your philosophy and stick with it. The other thing is you got to surround yourself with good assistant coaches, and your administration is key. I think if you old guys watch the news, my principal, Dr. Kiel Ross, he's up for National Principal of the Year. So he's the prime example of what it helps make me successful, make my job a lot easier.
Definitely. Shoot, I wanted to ask Coach Gentry. I wanted to ask this because I see you guys went deep into the playoffs last year, going to the state championship, actually losing to Hartsville. But knowing a lot of these guys coming back this year, what is their focus to get back to another state championship? But this time, accomplish that goal that they really wanted to accomplish last year.
Right, and if you'd have told us at the beginning of the year last year we'd have been playing for the lower state championship, I don't think there was many people in Chapin that would believe you. And but we just got better as the season went on, and we challenged them weekly, daily to get better. And every time we took the field, we got better. But one thing we've been preaching this year is one more week, and that's that. When we were running sprints, give me 2 more for 1 more week, and so we've kind of planted that in their heads. And our guys, like I said, they're young, they're resilient, they get over it a lot quicker than us coaches, but. We're looking forward to it. This has been a fun group to work with so far.
Cool. Hey, Coach from Lexington, I got a question. Any guys you want to spotlight that, there's a lot of guys that we know of and it's been talked about, but somebody that's caught your attention since you've been there and just kind of grew on you?
Yeah, we got a senior receiver, Mitchell McGee. He played a lot of slot receiver for him last year. He's really been a leader since I took over the job in February from the weight room. to the way we work out in the summertime, through our 7-on-7s. He's going to play both ways for us this year. And I think that's key is, a lot of kids nowadays, they just want to show up and play on Friday nights. But, he's a kid that's really set the tone in the weight room. He's put on a lot of strength. He's gotten a lot faster this summer. And he's got noticed in some camps this summer. And it's going to really show this, I think, this year in his senior season.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Tremaine.
Oh, well, hey, I'll take it.
Somebody wanted to speak in.
You know what?
It's all right.
They at that end of the table.
I ain't gonna get started today. Tremaine. We got guests in the house. We had no guests in the house. I'm like, ugly.
You're fine.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Coach Perry, no. With you guys having the 6-6 season last year, you have a lot of young guys that are coming back this year. Know you say you lost a lot of linemen. Definitely, same thing I was asking Coach Gentry. Just understand what is their focus too coming into this season, saying, okay, hey, we know we had this record last year, but this year we want to take it to a new level, and we really want to increase the win percentages, want to really get to the playoffs, want to get deep, want to state championship. What is their focus to?
I think our big focus going in there this spring, we had throughout the summer, is really becoming a physical team, a team that plays with a lot of effort. At Lexington, we're not going to year in and year out be able to line up in teams and just be better athletes. But two things you can control is how physical you play and how much effort you play with. And so we've really preached that to our kids. Coach Gentry's really done that over at Chapin. Growing up from my family hearing about Chapin, but he's done a great job bringing that back to Chapin and stuff like that. And you got to do that in our type schools to where you're not going to just be line up and out athlete every week. And a lot of schools can line up and they're just going to be better athletes than you, and they might cut some corners and get it done. But if you're a team that plays with effort, plays physical, and you preach that on a daily basis from your middle school to your B team to your JV to your varsity, and that's what our kids were really the motto we've been hanging our hats on. We're going to be a blue collar team and get things done the right way.
Definitely.
Now coaches, both of y'all got great student section, especially for Chapin and Lexington too. Both of y'all got like a college atmosphere. Chapin got the running down the hill. Lexington got a great stadium, great fan base. Both of y'all. So tell me about, for both of y'all fan bases, how that relates to what comes out in the football season for your student athletes. First for you, Coach Gentry.
What our kids do, our student section, is phenomenal. It's not just for football; it's for basketball, it's for baseball, it's for soccer. They really shut down and come and support their student athletes. And, sometimes a little obnoxious to everybody there, but it's all in fun and games. And Coach Billy Williams, one of our assistant cheer coaches, he's over the student government that handles all that, and they do a phenomenal job. They call themselves the 12th man.
Oh, man, that's
or the wingman, excuse me. I'm sorry.
What about you for you, Coach Perry?
I think it's just great for the school environment because, especially at larger schools, you got so many student athletes in the school, but when you see those guys come out and support each other, and it makes for a great environment. A lot of people see all these stadiums on Saturday and big games and stuff like that, but there's truly, when you go back, high school sports is the core of everything and where it starts. And when you see the kids getting involved and stuff like that, that makes the fan base, your community get involved, and really shows the backbone of what your school's about.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Key games for my bad, man. We got
you good. I ain't
cut them off.
Key games for I don't mean to cut people off today.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
It's worse from last week. My bad. Key games for Lexington is September 1st at Brook and KC, and then at North Augusta on the 8th, and then of course the rivalry game Lexington at White Knoll, and then for Chapin the key games for them will be at Real Bluff. We'll be there for that game for high school game day, and then on September 8th we'll be at Newberry. Their very first game for Lexington will be versus West Florence. That'll be a home game for them, and then for the home game for Chapin will be versus Mid Carolina. But of course, their very first game will be at Real Bluff. So make sure you go out and check them out. Coach Gentry, Coach Perry, we thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
We got Swansea and Ridgeview coming on up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And also, if you're on our Facebook Live and all that other good stuff, make sure you share us and all that other good stuff. And we'd love to hear from y'all. Be back in this commercial break.
Yo ho, this is Boom. Make sure you tune in to the Walk-Ons on freethinkersradio.com.
If you missed the tax deadline, Javis Tax Service can help. There are certain circumstances that allow for a tax extension without additional fees. We can let you know if you qualify for this service. If you still need to file, we can get the paperwork in quickly and ensure that all fees or penalties are met. It's better to file late taxes than not file at all to avoid garnishments. Use Javis Tax Service to help get your taxes filed quickly and correctly. For more information to set up a free consultation, call Javis Tax Service at 803-851-7112. That's 851-7112.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move.
When you have a great melody, a song to last forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
iHeartRadio is the way I get to you.
The biggest song, the biggest artist,
All in one place.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
And all I'm clinging to is prayers. And every breath is like a battle. I feel like I ain't come prepared.
How you roll?
Why Coach Fry keep challenging me about people staying home?
All right, here we go. We're back on. Thank you for joining the Walk-Ons. Make sure you share us on our Facebook page, Twitter page, Twitch, Periscope, and Snapchat. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. And what else do we got coming up, Kristen?
We got a couple of things. We got high school game day. 2 important dates. August 18th is Chapin versus River Bluff at River Bluff. And September 1st is going to be Spring Valley versus Richland Northeast at Richland Northeast. We'll also be in Charlotte at the NC State USC game, which is Saturday, September 2nd. And we also will have a fantasy football show on August the 15th. So you can sign up on our Facebook page. That's the Walk-Ons Radio Show. You can go in there and sign up. I believe we have limited spots, so you got to come on.
Spots.
16 spots. Come on, sign up. And if you would like to be a sponsor, contact sales at freethinkersradio.com.
Now, Coach Parks, I know you probably want to partake in that fantasy football, ain't it?
I'm trying to get on the Facebook right now.
Hey, you too, Coach Wright. I know you're a football fanatic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So with us today, we got Ridgeview Coach Perry Parks and Swansea's Coach Gregory Wright. First for Ridgeview, he previously coached at Lakewood High School. He turned that team around, went from 1-9 to a 6-5 record in 3 seasons. He was named the 6A Coach of the Year in 2014. He used to play at Sumter High School. He was a 2-sport athlete, football and baseball, and he used to play at Coastal Carolina as a wide receivers coach. For Coach Wright, he previously coached at Eau Claire High School and at Fairfield Central. He's also athletic director. He used to play in the North-South game, which is a very popular game here in the Southeast, from Cross High School, and he walked on to USC, and now he's the head coach for the Swansea Tigers. Coaches, how y'all feel today?
Oh, feeling good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, same. Glad to be here.
Awesome. First for you, Coach Parks. Y'all went 10-3 last year. Lost in the 3rd round versus South Aiken. Was it the Thoroughbreds, I believe? So tell me about your team that you got coming up this year.
We're excited, man. We got a good mix of kids coming back. We lost a lot of kids. 5 of those kids were Division I kids. So that's something we got to feel. But we got the next man up mentality. The next kids got to play. We're not making any excuses, and it's the best we've looked since I've been a head coach up to this point early in the year, so I'm excited.
Yeah, for you, Swansea, of course, last year you want to improve from last year, going from 3-8. What can you do to improve your team for this year coming up?
Well, the biggest thing, the kids, they were taking the time to learn me last year. I was learning the personnel and everything, so I definitely feel better this year. Our kids have really bought in and worked hard in the off season. I'm big on the mindset, and they're really focusing their grinder right now. So I'm expecting big things from them. We had a good young group that's very talented in the skill position. So definitely looking to do something special.
Cool.
Coach, go ahead, because I'm not going to be Marcus. I ain't going to cut you off. Go ahead. That's
Coach Parks, man, definitely from definitely watching you guys last season. You guys had a lot of success in a lot of games last year. A lot of seniors stepped up last year, coming into the season, holding each other accountable. Seeing them things from quarterback to running back to wide receiver to your defense was just phenomenal last year. Even going to South Point, watching them play there, they really fought up there last year. And even though in the loss, you can still see the character for those kids. What are you preaching this year just to get back after that loss from South Aiken this year? What are you preaching? Yeah, that's part of the culture that I tried to bring when we came to Ridgeview. So our kids expect to win. I don't care who we play against. And that's a mindset. And Coach Gray just spoke about that. We've instilled in our kids all off season. So it doesn't matter if we're playing Dutch Fork, South Point,
Burns, whoever we're playing Friday night, we get off the bus expecting to win.
Right.
And that's a mindset we take from the meeting room, let it trickle over to the practice field, and how we carry ourselves in the community. So we're excited about that, and I say it's a process that you don't just get that in fall camp. You get that from winter workouts, mat drills, 6 a.m.s, stuff like that, and you instill it in our kids, and our kids had success, so now we can build on those wins last year and say, we work hard, it can happen.
Definitely. Go ahead.
All right, Coach Ray, I got a question for you. We talked about how you walked on at USC.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you take from that experience, and you've got a lot of younger guys, and carry back to them to try to help them continue to grow?
Well, definitely, it's hard work, perseverance. I always talk to them about my favorite quote, Bible verses, Galatians 6:9, and let us not grow weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap if you do not lose heart.
So, Pastor Wright, I hear you.
A little deep, but being there, going on as a walk-on, and I was preferred walk-on. I earned a scholarship my first year, led it there 4 years. So having that background and relating to the kids, they want to get to that level. So having that experience, and I was a graduate assistant coach at USC. So having that experience and bringing that background, that those kids really buy into what I'm selling because they know I've been there. I can take them to the facilities and show them, the campus and show them what it's like, taking them practice. And, Coach Parks does the same thing. So, just giving those guys that experience and that exposure, and, they're excited about it, and they trust in you.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, former players, both of y'all, you kind of coach right, college and then came back to high school. What is it for you guys to instill your own kind of tradition? You at Swansea known for winning. You're at Ridgeview known for winning. The culture there is win, get as far as we can, and even states for both you guys. And being black coaches and having your own tradition, bring your own toughness, your own niche. So what would it be for keeping a couple guys that may not go to college and keeping around so that they can continue the process of coaching and building on your tradition, your legacy? So if they go out, you have your own tree, and you're branching out.
Yeah, that's a cool question. I just looked at it. I've been a head coach for 5 years, and I've got 2 younger black guys that work for me that are head coaches now. So that's unheard of, especially for me to be so young to have 2 guys on my tree. So I try to lift as I climb. If I see a young guy that wants to get into coaching, grab him, teach him how to do things the right way. Teach him how to work. Teach them how to put any idea that you think is crazy. And that's part of our program. We take things that nobody else would do, and we do it for our kids. And we try to give them an experience, and it's all about that experience for us. So just try to grab guys that are interested, pour into them. And then, like I said, like right now I've been in 5 years as a head coach, 10 years as a coach, 5 years as a head coach, and I've got 2 guys that are head coaches. So that's just something, like I said, I love that. That means that I'm doing something right. Yep.
Awesome. Now, for you, Coach Parks.
I was going to ask Coach Wright.
Huh? Oh,
Mark thought about himself about 2
my
seconds.
bad. Hey, it's that Red Bull, like I said.
Shouldn't have bought it.
Forget about the little Swansea over here.
Go ahead, Coach. My bad.
I'm just messing.
I love Swansea. It's good country town. So,
definitely. But just to piggyback on Coach Parks, I was fortunate to go to Fairfield Central with Demetrius Davis, who he came from the college ranks as well, and we had a lot of success down there, being in back-to-back state championships. And his biggest thing is he wanted people around him that inspired to be head coaches. So, we always treated like we always joked around. We had a bunch of Chiefs, no Indians. So, it's all love. A lot of people they want to be at the top. But, having that atmosphere where iron sharpens iron. So I always encourage my younger coach, each one teach one. It's about everybody growing and building. And, you want that success. Yeah. If they're having success, then you're going to have success. And that's what it's about.
Now, Coach, looking at your schedule, Coach Parks, you got a pretty reasonable schedule. Most of these schools are good, quote unquote, country teams, so you know how good they will be. Hey, I just speaking as a football player, if you see that York and you see that South Point, you already know what to expect. So I got down for your key games. You got Sumter, your former school, South Point, and Westwood. What do you think about those teams coming up, and plus your whole schedule from there?
Yeah, it's all good football. I mean, we made a mistake my first year at Ridgeview by beating Dutch Fork, and then after that, nobody wanted to play it. So, we've got
you send the message.
We've got a tough schedule, and we embrace that. Like I said, we don't make any excuses. Everybody we play has got a good football team. There's no weeks off. Our region is one of the toughest 4A regions in the state, Region 3, 4A. So we just tell our kids come ready to work. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we'll play whoever we play on Friday night. Just hope we can execute and get ready to have fun on Friday.
Yeah.
Go ahead, because the last time they let you cut off. Well, go ahead.
Coach Wright, I want to ask you the same thing.
Yeah, about your, because you got a pretty decent schedule. So what do you think about when you look at your schedule? And
well, like Coach Park said, we don't care about who's on the schedule. Our mindset is we're going to dominate. Every time we step on the field, we don't care who it is. We represent Swanson. We're going to represent with class, and we're second to nobody.
Definitely. I know you're excited about this year, man. It's going to be big, especially for Ridgeview, for Swanson both. I know the kids, you guys getting a lot of experience. For them kids coming back for Ridgeview, you guys have a lot of guys who just, they're young, but they've seen the success of last year, and they're like, look, we ready to take it to another level.
My only question would be, as somebody that started playing, and then you see the culture start to change in high school football. A lot more high school football games being televised, and like in the next years or so, like what do you think about even scheduling some games outside of just the state, just having like someone that are outside in Augusta? Can't think it's a couple schools around Augusta that got some good teams, or Florida or North Carolina, even just schedule or getting one.
We're in talks right now with Seminole County out of Florida, and we're talking with Valdosta, a huge program in Georgia.
Wow.
The thing with Valdosta, they're big, so they're flexing their muscles. They want to try to buy us out both years. We want to travel, and we want them to travel. So we don't think we'll take a game just for money for 2 years. We want to go to Georgia, and then next year we want them to come to us. So that's definitely on our radar. That's something we're going to do. We want to become a national power. So only way you can do that is get outside your state lines and play somebody else.
That's
see where you're at.
Last question for me.
You got the floor.
I got the floor.
Oh yeah,
I love this. I played receiver.
You got 1 minute though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be quick. I played receiver. So what are some of the your key points that you more heart with, like you more flow with, or more connected to as a coach, as a head coach, like offense, special teams, where's your niche as a head coach?
Go ahead, Greg.
Well, playing DB, in college and playing Spurs, so I got best of both worlds. So definitely, I'm big on being physical. Always make sure your eyes in the right place, and just love being a ball hawk on defense. So I try to coach them with passion, to doing the same thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, before we go to this commercial break, we'll finish this conversation after the commercial break. So make sure you share us on all of our social media. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Your business with Javis Tax Services Payroll Services. We offer hassle-free payroll and direct deposit services for companies of all sizes. Our experts ensure that every detail is handled from setup to reporting. At Javis Tax Service, our cost-effective payroll solutions allow you to put your focus back on running your company. Call us today for a consultation and learn more about our payroll services. Call Javis Tax Service at 851-7112. That's 851-7112.
You've made iHeartRadio the fastest growing music app in the U.S. Why? Because we connect you to all of your favorite music and radio stations in one free app. And this fall, prepare to take control of how you listen to the radio.
Replay.
That song on your radio you just can't hear enough? Immediately replay and sing along again.
Save.
Save the music you love on the radio directly to your playlist.
Play.
Search for and play any song on demand.
Skips.
Unlimited skips.
Offline.
Take the music from your favorite stations offline. Introducing iHeartRadio Plus and iHeartRadio All Access. Your radio now on demand.
Welcome back to the Walk-Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media.
Twitch.
Right now, Twitch.
Snitch.
Now, you said Stitch last week, OP, so that's why I'm not going to let you open the show.
Lilo and Snitch.
Lilo and
Stitch.
Can't have fun.
But make sure you follow us on all of our social media, and make sure you tell your family and friends. We got Coach Parks and Coach Wright with us. Coach Parks from Ridgeview and Coach Wright from Swansea. Coach Parks, he was going to answer the same question from before a commercial break. You go ahead for that.
Yeah, offense is where it's at. I'm just going to jump in and say that. I'm an offensive guy, man. I played receiver, was coordinator in Atlanta before I moved back to South Carolina, and then coordinated my first year at Ridgeview. Last year I caught a break. Derek took it. Now he got the Wilson job, so I'm back calling plays. So, but defense has its place and special teams, so they're all three important. But offense is my preference.
While asking that, anyway, I mean, for both of y'all, both of being offensive guys like that, I mean, I can tell. I know you definitely, when you get in practice, it's like, listen, I know we have to have a strong defense, but we need to make sure points are on the board.
Yeah.
How hard do you guys really, for both of y'all, and both y'all, really preach that in practice for your quarterbacks and your running backs? To, hey, be on the same page, understand, know the plays, know where the calls, understand where the defensive players are, so you can get this route, different things like that. Like, how do y'all communicate about that? How serious do you get on your kids and say, hey, execute?
Yeah, it's attention to detail. Everything you do. I mean, not just offense, defense, and the kicking game. I'm telling you, the teams that are good year in and year out, they're good at making sure that little things are done right.
Right.
Same thing. I piggyback off Coach Park. I always tell my kids, like a jigsaw puzzle. If one piece out of place, then you don't have a pretty picture. So,
and that's real. Right?
Trying to make it hit. There you go.
That's, man. Let me tell you something. Watching all the games I done seen, when your offense, it's like your defense could be on point all game. When your offense ain't putting no points on the board, that's a long night, because the defense you get tired.
Yeah,
you never standing still. You're always moving. So that I definitely, that answering that. I mean, that's to see that you guys are really preaching that. I mean, that's huge. I mean, for y'all really to preach that to your kids too. So that's huge.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, for our first game for Ridgeview, it'll be on August the 18th, which is not far from now. They'll be taking on Sumter at home, and then for Swansea, they'll be taking on Battery Creek at Battery Creek in Beaufort, but their first home game will be August the 25th when they take on the Richland Northeast Cavaliers. And it's a possibility that we will be at that game, so make sure you stay tuned on our Facebook page so you can see where our high school game day show will be at. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Coach Parks, Coach Wright, we thank you. You can stay on with us as we are in the last segment called The Last Say. For The Last Say, everybody speaks on what's on their mind from the week or week prior or whatever that's on their mind. So this is called The Last Say segment. Opie, I'll give you the first Wayne.
Why me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. Hello.
Why me?
Yeah.
She meant.
We talked already, so you got a pretty serious one. So
I mean, I wait for Coach Fry, because me and Coach Fry go back and forth with this. He want people to stay, but it's like this: the bigger attractions in anything garner the most, attention. I mean, football, the most attention goes. Everybody wants to be quarterback, running back. Nobody wants. I need somebody to block for the quarterback. I need somebody to get to the other quarterback. So everybody want to be what's garnering the most attention, and I think what me and most people in my situation that has potentially played and garnered a lot of attention in their life is some security. Like I played at the highest level, but I come home, I'm shown no love. So I'm trying to tell them, it is true. It is great to be in the South, especially in this state at this time when you're between Charlotte and Atlanta, and cost of living is so low, and you can get a great job. Yes, it is. But when you start looking around and you start saying, well, these guys are from Columbia, what are they doing? Why are they not here? This guy went here, this, that, and the third. And when you got somebody that's from here, like an Alex English, top 50 player in the NBA, top 50. I mean, I think he might be top 30 if I look at it.
Right.
And nobody knows about him being from here. Yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah. It's funny you just said that, because sitting back, I've been paying attention to that a lot. Like if I go back to, like, I'm from Ohio, so when I go back home, I see the exposure, even from a young age, because like we're getting ready to do some things in my state when it comes to sports for kids, as far as nonprofit wise, and it amazes me because when I moved here, I watched that they coaches like you guys, you don't get coaches like that sometimes who really push the kids and really excel the children, and then when they go out and they come back, they want to invest in their schools, in their cities, but people don't exalt them and give them that opportunity. They don't excel and bring them out and say, hey, you've done so much here in our community, you've done so much and been so successful, hey, why not make it important for you?
Kristen, what's on your mind?
This is an interesting topic for me because I kind of understand both sides. I don't think Coach Fry thinks that everybody has to stay here because that's just not realistic. There's opportunities all over the place, and you kind of got to take the ones that you got. But just be leaning more towards I would love for people to stay here. At the end of the day, I wouldn't expect them to stay for nothing. So what are we doing to appeal to the people that we're trying to keep here that we don't want to go elsewhere? I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing. I don't think any state should let their talent leave without any type of trying to keep them here. I know a lot of people who have left and they're like, nobody even looked at me. So.
As a kid, you want to explore out the state. Yeah. You know, you want to be homebody and not able to explore your talents elsewhere. But I can stand on both sides. You know,
some people trying to run from their parents.
Build your home, be your home base at the same time. Still explore your horizons. We thank all the coaches for coming out tonight.
Yes.
I'll get my thought. I just wanted to talk about Kyrie and how Cleveland news was talking about Kyrie.
Hear the songs, man.
We can do that after the show.
We thank y'all. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Make sure to tune in. See you next week.